going on, guys? Welcome to Za King's Music Connection. Today I got Tracy Byrd with me from the mighty Blitzkid and A Gathering of None. Now, Tracy's musical career has been going strong since the mid-90s, playing all over the world, playing in front of huge crowds, doing multiple tours, basically just kicking ass in whatever he's involved in. He's one of my favorite singers, and I'm glad I got to catch up with him a little bit and talking about A Gathering of None's brand new release, Give Up the Ghost. What's going on, Tracy? How you doing?
Hey man, things are good. Just working out, trying to keep busy doing guitar videos for people and stuff like that, and just trying to pass the time right now in quarantine. That's about it. But yeah, man, things are good.
I can see it clearly. It's part of a constant thread. This pattern's grown so weary. I'm waiting for just the right time.
Ready to take on the world? Maybe not so much, but you know, music has been a part of my life since I was 13 years old. That was 30 years ago, so I don't see that stopping anytime soon. And now I've just got more of it to do, so it's always a balance. You know, you find time for each thing, and yeah. So I guess, you know, somewhat ready to take on the world. Is that the prime directive? No, but you know, something to shoot for.
My conscience would be clear. I won't take opinions and keep all you see from harm.
The Gathering of None came about because once Blitzkid ended, I wanted to do some different things. You know, Blitzkid ended in 2012, and I had written some songs that I didn't feel would fit anywhere except, you know, for a new project. So, because it was just me initially, I called it The Gathering of None. And, you know, the first EP that we released was all me. I played every instrument, but the second time around, we had Chris on drums, we had Doug on bass, and Justin on guitars. And then Doug left, and then we got our friend Ken on bass. Ken and Chris and I actually played in our very first serious band together back, you know, in 1991. We started a band together called Blood Covenant. So it was kind of cool, you know, to kind of get the guys from that band back together now and what we're doing with The Gathering of None. So that's how everything came to be. Initially just started out with me. I was writing songs that were a little bit more involved than I knew my capabilities as a drummer and a bass player, and even a guitar player at times too, would not translate well to just being me. So, and I never wanted it to be me, just be me as well. We wanted a full band project from the get-go, but the easiest way to do it right from the jump was just to do it by myself. And you know, it evolved to what it is now. We're you know, a 5-piece band, and everybody gets along, everybody loves one another. It's really cool. Said previously, you know, A Gathering of None came about pretty much organically because there was just some songs initially that I had that wouldn't fit anywhere else. All of us in the band, we love, you know, stoner rock, we love melodic punk, we love post-hardcore, we like a lot of 90s grunge and hard rock and metal, and that's kind of where A Gathering of None lives. So when we write songs, they kind of take the forms of all those subgenres, and we kind of meld them together into what they are. You know, it's not easy, and a lot of times it's, you know, our songwriting process can take a while, but the end results we're always pleased with, and more people are getting into us, which I think means, you know, the people are pleased as well, which is awesome.
I'm so sick of being brave.
The writing process for us is, as I said, you know, in the previous question, everybody just kind of brings their own ideas to the table. We have 5 songwriters, we have 5 singers. Some of us are a little bit more prog leaning than the others, and that's okay. Some of us are a little bit more punk leaning than the others, metal leaning, but we all kind of meet in the middle. On paper, honestly, it makes no sense for the 5 of us in A Gathering of None to be a band, but we meet in the middle where all of our influences that we like individually, we like enough of them between the 5 of us the same, so we kind of meet in the middle, and everyone brings ideas. It's all very collaborative, and it's cool. Started the Patreon as a way to kind of give back to fans who, you know, have supported us for a long time, ever since the beginning. We've had a lot of Gathering of None stuff, you know, just lying around in the archives, like be it live footage or demo recordings and stuff like that. You know, we offer guitar lessons and everything. Justin offers walkthroughs on how he mixes things or how he's mixed stuff for our records for A Gathering of None. So we just thought it would be cool, you know, an idea to kind of generate some more interest in us. And, you know, A Gathering of None, we do have our share of, you know, super fans out there, which is awesome. And they've been really receptive, so we figured, why not? Let's keep the Patreon going and let's offer them some goodies that no one else gets. Music collaboration was thought of by Justin, and you know, we knew we both had so many friends that would be willing to record remotely from home, that we could share projects on, or you know, lay vocals down on a song that they've demoed or something like that. So we figured it would be a nice way to give everybody some music right now, because you're not getting live shows, you're not getting, you know, a lot of times you're not even getting live streams of, you know, acoustic performances from a lot of people, but you are from, you know, some in small pockets here and there. We just thought, instead of doing that, you know, collaborate on some stuff with some other like-minded musicians who were kind of stuck in their houses as well. And yeah, we've got some cool stuff that's come out of it. Atomic Werewolf was kind of predates the music quarantine collaboration thing on Facebook, but that was all a collaborative effort. Everybody kind of remotely recorded that from their homes, or there was some stuff recorded in the studio in New Jersey, but a lot of it was recorded at home. I recorded my guitar tracks for that right in my kitchen at my old house in Massachusetts. So yeah, it was just kind of a way for you know, us to connect with other musicians and people to get some music out there. Guns N' Roses. Me personally, I love Guns N' Roses. Appetite for Destruction is a classic, near perfect album to me that I think happened, you know, by fluke in a lot of ways. But yeah, I would love to do some more GNR stuff. I had a blast covering Rocket Queen with you guys. You know, I don't think my drummer Chris will be on board for anything Guns N' Roses related. He's not a very big Guns N' Roses fan, but you know, you never know. Something else may come down the pike where, you know, you hear me singing some Axl Rose at some point again. Trioxin Tribute last year was a really special thing for everyone involved, especially for us, you know, the three of us in Blitzkid. We had always said, you know, lines of communication were kept open and everybody was still friends and whatnot after Blitzkid ended in 2012. We'd always said that, you know, we would come back around for the right thing. And us being friends with Jason for so long, and Mr. Monster and Blitzkid's, you know, trajectory kind of interlocking as it did when we were first starting out, it made all too much sense for us to say, okay, you know what, this is our friend, this is our brother, you know, let's pay tribute to him, because we knew that if Jason were there in-house physically, he would have loved to see Blitzkid get back together for 2 nights, and that was the main catalyst in doing it. And now it's kind of evolved to where, you know, from that, I think we saw that people still want to see Blitzkid. They still hold us in a high regard. That we haven't been forgotten. So we said, you know what? That was fun. That was really fun, actually. So let's keep the door open for future stuff. And it was super special for us to be a part of it. As I said, Jason was a great friend, and his impact upon personal lives, people that were there, myself included. Plus, you know, not only the horror music scene, you can't measure it in, you know, mere words. I mean, the guy transcended, you know, horror punk. I think anyone to sit down and listen over Your Dead Body, they could hear that it was just a great songwriter, you know. So that I think Jason inspired me with, you know, inspired me to be a better songwriter for Blitzkid and for everything that I've done since. And Jason was a good man. great friend, great supporter of this, the horror punk scene, and he will be dearly missed. I think about it every day. We have some prizes lined up. I can't tell you about them, so if I told you about them, I'd have to kill you. So you'll just have to wait to see. We'll probably have something cool planned, but I'm not telling you what it is. Yeah, we met Mr. Monster as a result of the very first Ghouls Night Out festival in Spartanburg, South Carolina in 2001. Before that, we had kind of struck up email conversations with them between myself and JV and Jason and Goolsby. The four of us had been talking for a couple of months prior to the Ghouls Night Out Festival taking place, and we just became kind of friends. We became tight, virtually, and then we met one another at that show, and it was like we were sister bands, from the get-go. And we kind of piggybacked off of them. They kind of piggybacked off of us, for the next 3-4 years. Any door that was open for them, they tried to include us. Any door that was open for us, we tried to include them. It was just a camaraderie between the two bands, and we were so like-minded in how we did things that we just kind of hit it off and, toured all over with them, played mini shows with them up in New Jersey, down here in Virginia, etc., etc. So it was just kind of kindred spirits that just kind of, kept the ball rolling for one another. Long list of musicians that have inspired me as an artist. Ramones, Bad Religion, Face to Face, Strung Out, Megadeth, Only Living Witness, King's X, Ignite, Quicksand, My Chemical Romance to a certain degree as well. The Misfits, obviously, for the horror punk stuff. Without them, there is no horror punk. If anybody says that's not true, they're lying. I don't know, man. So much stuff. Corrosion to Conformity, Down, Pantera, all kinds of things. I am not limited to one genre. I do a lot of punk, I do a lot of hardcore, I do a lot of post-hardcore. I listen to it all. So there are several bands in each one of those genres that I've taken influence from. Thin Lizzy, Iron Maiden. I can go on for days. If we do that, that's all this interview is going to be, though. So there's just a few.
Did you take those pills? Yeah, I'm afraid.
Challenging, in 2020 to find music that you're inspired by that's from newer artists. And that's not a cut on anybody doing new music now. It's just, it becomes a little bit harder to find. So it's kind of taking it back to where in the 80s and in the 90s you had to search for stuff. You had to search underground for stuff that was cool, that wasn't, immediately available. Some of the bands that I like right now are Windhand, 4-0 Mono, John Lancaster, the Northern Skulls, so much stuff. Devil in a Belfry, shout out to Jeff. And I'm not saying that because he's my guitar player. Devil in a Belfry are one of those bands in horror punk that I think are doing it right. They don't automatically go for the Danzig Misfits thing, and that's killer. So many good bands out right now. Again, if I had to name all of them that have caught my ear, we'd be here a long time, but those are just a few. Wrestling Mount Rushmore, that's a good question. I'm a huge wrestling fan, everybody knows that. If I had to pick 4 guys, this is going to be tough. 4 guys, right off the bat, I'm going to say Ric Flair, gotta be in there. And then you have to also include his arch nemesis in the 80s, Dusty Rhodes, baby. You gotta put a guy, like, for his ability to evolve and to stay relevant in his, nearly 30-year career, you gotta put Chris Jericho in there. But number 1 for me, 4 Horsemen. Number 1 for me, it's gotta be the Macho Man, Randy Savage. Ooh, yeah! Gotta have him in there.
Yes, finally, somebody put the Nature Boy in their Mount Rushmore. I knew you had good taste. And I know the people listening have good taste, and you're gonna head over to your iTunes, your Bandcamp, your Spotify, and you're gonna grab a Gathering of Nuns brand new release, Give Up the Ghost. Support the scene, support the music, support the artists that you like.